Crazy stupid people on paternity court.
One day she was at his house and he couldn't find her, so he went looking for her, and he saw her in the backyard with a neighbor, and she was giving him.
I want my daughter to have her husband and her whole family together because she wasn't raised with her father. But he's too stupid to know that.
Before Miss Garcia's old man kicked the bucket, Miss Huffman, who's way younger than him and even younger than Miss Garcia herself, came out of the blue claiming she had one kid from the Pops and was cooking up another. What? However, the plaintiff screamed for a DNA test to protect Daddy's rep and cash.
Basically here on behalf of my dad because he passed away about 2 years ago. He was not sure that if they were his or not. She had gotten around.
So the questions that remain have been unanswered.
Correct.
It's your belief that Ms. Garcia's father did father both of your children.
Yeah.
What was she thinking? I mean, come on. This man was twice your age. Even if that wasn't enough, he already has a daughter twice your age. How more stupid can you be, Miss Huffman? Anyway, back to the hearing. Let's find out how it all started.
Dating, you hanging out together.
It was more like hanging out in a truck.
Oh, well, we're here to be honest and tell the truth. So you would hang out in his truck.
And goof around in the beginning, and then we got into the whole thing on how you get pregnant.
What world are we living in? Miss Garcia came to know about her alleged 2-year-old sister through Facebook. That is, in fact, a mind-boggling thought. But the daddy's little cozying up has now put her in a state where she just has to use everything she got for his defense.
She messaged me on Facebook and she said that she was pregnant with a child and that she had a 2-year-old daughter, that they were my dad's. And he basically said that yes, that he was messing around with her, but he didn't believe that those were his children.
Well, Daddy had put everyone in paternity limbo. Miss Garcia, who has 5 other siblings, was upset because her late father always acknowledged and accepted his other children. But also, according to the plaintiff, Miss Huffman wants nothing but child support.
That one day she was at his house and he couldn't find her, so he went looking for her, and he saw her in the backyard with a neighbor, and she was giving him oral sex.
Whoa! Is that true?
No, it's not.
Did her father actually catch you with another man?
No.
But as we say, paternity court is a place for all sorts of twists and turns. Here's Judge Lake trying to pull out her ace card. Just look at whom she calls in for a testimony that we get your head spinning like a top.
You uncovered as you spoke to and interviewed Ms. Huffman.
While assisting the defendant, Ms. Huffman, with setting up a DNA test for her and her daughters, she unknowingly admitted that she tested another man in the past. She did not remember if she brought the birth certificate with her the last time she tested a man against Claudia.
Ms. Huffman allowed another man to test Claudia's paternity, but he was not determined to be the biological father. Miss Huffman's father had heard rumors that Claudia's mother had multiple relationships with people who worked at the carnival, but Miss Huffman denied this.
Did this other man who wanted the test work for the carnival?
No, he did not.
And so I'm just not understanding why the testimony wasn't completely honest. If you had the test and he was not the father, I mean, in many ways that lends credibility to the fact that maybe Ms. Garcia's father is Claudia's biological father.
As the tension in the courtroom reached its peak, Judge Lake took a deliberate breath and carefully tore open the sealed envelope. Let's just see what truth has been hiding up in the envelope. Drum roll, please, and volume's up. Let the countdown begin.
Relatedness between Claudia Huffman and Carrie Garcia is 99.9%. You are related. Emily Huffman and Carrie Garcia, 99.9% you are related.
Miss Williams was upset because her husband, Mr. Jackson, refuses to acknowledge their child, Wyatt, as his own and suspects she cheated during conception. Talk about perfect timing. Well, our Starshine did admit to her past mistakes, but hopes to prove paternity with DNA results. Oh boy, Let's just dive right into the hearing.
Which is something I shouldn't have to do, but it's to please him and his family. And I'm so sick of them, that's the reason why we're here, because he's following behind his family and not his wife. I'm his wife. I'm there for him 24/7, not them. So for him to sit up there and choose them over me.
Okay, so one thing was certain. The baby has been looking for someone to call daddy, and that was heartbreaking. But if that was a sob story to you, just you know, Miss Williams believes Jackson's behavior towards Wyatt is different from how he treats her older children, and feels that Wyatt is being mistreated.
You don't believe you have any connection? Your wife says this is a miracle baby, but it is your testimony that you don't believe your wife's child is your biological son.
Yes, Your Honor, because we had 2 miscarriages before this, and me and her,
What that
egg
mean?
and sperm do not meet. So that's why I think I have doubts this is not my child.
Text messages? Oh, damn. This means there was another dude in the picture expressing a desire to see Miss Williams again. Whoa! And guess how she replies to this? That's right, with a wink and a fire emoji. Okay, something suggests flirtatious conversation. Let's hear her defense.
First of all, I'm his homeboy. I play football. He know I have male friends. We have mutual male friends together that we all chill and kick it with. So it's not like this person he does not know of or about or even hang with.
Do you know who this person is?
Really don't.
What is happening here? Folks, we literally have a child's paternity in question, and all we talk about is emojis? Wonderful. But hold on a minute. This wasn't the only conversation that surfaced. Just hear who else Judge Lake reads from the text. Now, this will clearly get your head spinning.
Say I was calling you and no answer. The friend says call again, I didn't see anything. And then you say you playing games and I need to talk to you. Then you write, I'm pregnant, can you answer the phone please?
Now, when you have doubts, Your Honor,
And what makes everything worse is the ultimate confession by our Starshine plaintiff, admitting that during a period when she and Mr. Jackson broke up, she was involved with another man. And guess what? It was months before they all got back together. Now, isn't that just stupid?
You're saying that there was another man you slept with when you all were off but trying to come back together.
unprotected sex.
No, it was not.
How do you know, Mr. Jackson? Were you there?
Honor,
No.
That's the thing she
No,
told
Your
me,
Honor,
Your
this
Honor.
man, he's full of it.
You believe she cheated with that man without protection and there are more men.
Probably, Your Honor.
No, it's not.
Probably, Your Honor.
But things really turn to spice up when Miss Jackson's witness drops the bombshell by telling the court that the baby mama has been promiscuous and has a history of roaming around with multiple men. Oh boy, Miss Williams wasn't ready to take that respect. Here's how it went.
First of all, I don't play with children. Stay in the child place. You need to
So
shut up.
wait,
Play with children.
Miss Bradley.
Truth.
You're mad.
Family knows
Let's get some order. You are testifying, Miss Bradley. You have seen Miss Williams with your own eyes. You say creeping, so you mean entertaining other men?
Yes.
Come on, people, drop the noise. This isn't your backyard, but you're in a courtroom. How about we cut to the chase and just focus on the idea of DNA revelation? All right, Judge Lake, it's time to bring closure to this tale of infidelity or fidelity. Who knows at this point?
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Jackson, you are the father.
So that same energy y'all can pack him up out my house. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Facing a similar dilemma, Miss Moon Maryfield comes to paternity court hoping to prove the paternity of her 20-month-old son. But like they say, all paternity mazes don't take a straight route. We have the alleged father blaming that the baby mama had cheated on him during the window of conception. Ooh, juicy.
Because I've been with him for 16 years on and off. Nobody's perfect. He's made mistakes. I've made mistakes. I've given him 3 kids with 1 on the way, and he should know my character better than that, than to sleep around with another man.
My family is on the line. I have divorce papers here. I need to find out the answer if this is my child or not.
He always
Get some
results
help.
to that.
Well, Miss Moon Maryfield, you better watch out for that one thing. If he keeps on throwing divorce like ice cream sprinkles, you better stop clinging to this man. However, there were various reasons for him to be doing so, but this time around, Mr. Maryfield caught the baby mama texting another dude.
I've seen some Facebook messages from these guys, this person before. Well, it was somebody else.
But it's okay when he does it.
No.
He lets his imagination, his mind go off, oh, well, if you said this, then it's probably this and this. And if you did this, then, if you said this, then you're probably thinking this. And I know guys. And
I think we should all clap for that honesty. Miss Moon Maryfield, just bravo! However, being his own detective, our defendant here admits to texting the dude whom his wife was texting and gets a defensive response as the person denies any interest in his wife and suggests that he should focus on his relationship instead of arguing.
A call log of several calls
more than
to the same number.
Back to back every minute. Like 3 texts and 4 or 5 texts
but it's
each
not,
minute.
It's not like that. It's a LOL or laugh out loud or whatever. It's not like, going back and forth just like that.
Is this a person you've been intimate with?
No, I've never been intimate with the person at all.
What? They've been together for about 16 years. The way they're arguing about everything sounds like they've been together for 16 days. But just listen to the story Mr. Maryfield was about to portray, being the high school sweetheart.
I used to walk to school in 7th grade and I used to see those and pick them up and wish like, oh, I love this girl, I wish I have a family and kids by this girl. You know what they say, be careful what you wish for. And I used to wish for that all the time.
Really, Mr. Maryfield?
So we was together, the first 3 years was good, all the way up until 18. Once we turned 18, she started saying, I was her first boyfriend, first everything, so she wants to experience.
Sounds like someone's been controlling. And now this testimony reeks of manipulation. It feels like they were both in a marriage for such a long time, but in reality, they've all just been dating with commitment. What a marriage, Mr. Maryfield.
The reason why I have doubts is I found her texting 3 different dudes. 3 of them she already slept with and she loves. There's her love. One of them is the love of her life. You know what I'm saying? Who she's in love with. If she's texting these guys that they love each other. If she's texting these guys that they love each other, she's supposed to change her number. She changed her number, then she starts emailing, I love you to him. And then I catch the email.
You're exaggerating.
Regardless of Mr. Maryfield being intimate with the baby mama during the window of conception, he still suspects everything. Wanna know why? Because Miss Moon Maryfield's ex-boyfriend also had a son with whom she compared her own son through a picture text. Wow, if that's some logic. But just listen to the plaintiff's own mama for a sec.
I want my daughter to have her husband and her whole family together because she wasn't raised with her father. But he's too stupid to know that. He thinks I'm against him. I'm for him, always for him. I can't always be on his side because he's not always right. She's right sometimes and sometimes he's right.
Only one thing was able to save this collapsing marriage, and that was the DNA result. Since no one was willing to cut each other some slack, it was about time for Judge Lake to pull the curtains and bring closure to everyone.
Mr. Maryfield, you are Kane's father.
Lord, apologies, Devontae.
Well, Brittany, I apologize for having doubts.
Weekends are best to lay low from all your responsibilities, right? But some people might even crank it up a notch. Meet Miss Shomo, who was married, but after having a brief romantic encounter with her co-worker, Mr. Freeman, during a weekend, she's now in a major paternity doubt. Let's see how everything went down.
Your Honor, I was young. I was going through some difficulty, feeling unwanted by my husband, Mr. Kleckler, and I felt Mr. Freeman was giving me more attention than my husband was. We've been together for 10 years. His friends was more important at the time, and he just wanted to run around and not be a family man.
Oh, now that's one classic from the paternity camp. But did you just listen to Miss Shomo? She did everything because she was just bored and wanted more. What an excuse, oh man. But just listen to her husband telling his side of the story.
At night, 12, 1 o'clock with the kids. We already got 3 previous children, Your Honor. I told her she's been doing this, like I said, for a while. I'm not gonna put up with it, so I packed my stuff and I left. Later, we got to talking on the phone and reconciled and
so
working it out.
You were having troubles, you kind of broke up for a minute, took a break, and got back together.
Yes, Your Honor.
But you won't believe it. When Miss Shomo found out that she was pregnant, she confessed it to her husband, completely shutting out the other dude, and later testified for being young and dumb. Well, dear plaintiff, you can't just blame everything on being young and find your way to an excuse.
I do admit that I did do my dirt in the first couple years of our relationship and after our first child. I gave her ample time to do the same thing that I did, Your Honor. Most men wouldn't do that, but she took it beyond. I never brought a child into the relationship. Didn't even respect our marriage, Your Honor. We are legally married. She didn't even respect it.
But just wait for everything, because there's another revelation pending, as Miss Shomo expresses deep emotional pain and resentment towards her partner. She testified that he cheated on her with his best friend's aunt. Okay, feels like now we're getting somewhere.
So I grew separable. Yes, I did. And who doesn't make mistakes? I made a mistake.
So basically, you cheated out of hurt and revenge.
I was moving on. When I married him, he was the only man I wanted to marry in this lifetime.
So you were pregnant, and you believed your husband was a father.
Yes, Your Honor.
But the surprise was bound to surface. Want to know why? When the baby was born, it looked just like the baby mama. But as being a few months into the child's birth, he seemed to be telling a different story. OMG, now that must have been heart-pounding.
Mr. Freeman wanted a baby with me, and he had told me that he had wanted a baby.
It wasn't like I said.
And he said he was going to get me pregnant one way or another.
Not like that, no, Your Honor. It
So, yes,
wasn't
we
like
did
that. I
use
said
a
I would love
condom.
to have a baby by you, but she was married at the time. I wasn't just gonna ditch a baby off in her like that. The condom bust, you know.
All right, so now we blame everything on the other dude? Well, in my opinion, Miss Shomo, you had a responsibility for your husband. Either you could have stayed with him or just left him then and there, because now there's a baby in the world, and he'll be looking for answers.
Or did you immediately have a doubt?
No, Your Honor. I had been teased at work by my coworkers. They would tell me that he was gonna come out with curly hair, or that's what they say to me. You know, they tease me.
So they were teasing you?
You know, after she left, they kind of got a little bit more serious about it. You know, my wife had told me that she hadn't messed with nobody. I believe my wife.
Well, this paternity triangle wasn't coming to an end anytime soon. So how's about we just focus on the science now rather than these testimonies? All right, now all we need is the result from the DNA queen to shed some light on who's the baby daddy.
Biological father is Mr. Freeman.